Hi, how's it going? What are we looking at today? We're going to be looking at Flask number 31. 13, 37, 31. Yeah, we're going to go with 31. Oh, and this one's topped off all the way to the top. Let's take a little look at it. Darker with just a subtle green kind of a hue to it. It's given its best shot to hang tight. Now, it doesn't have the toxicity of the King County, but it has it does not have that pleasing aromas of the Islay Scotch. Again, kind of reminding me more of what the maker's mark. Okay, that time it got more clingy the closer it got to my mouth. Kind of a vanilla cinnamon, and of course that oakiness from where it's been chilling. Salute. It's honestly like I just drank nothing. That was weird. Wow. Maybe was it Smile Money, or was it trying to think of who made the comment first. With all the hot sauces, is it entirely possible at some point in time you wreck yourself? It is very, very, very smooth, all the way to the point where it smells like it's going to be kind of a heavy hitter, kind of even a whiskey, and yet on the palate, I am honestly getting little to nothing. Just to make sure that I'm not broken, let's go with something that I know has of a lot of that smokiness, and the Laphroaig actually has a wee bit of that, almost like bordering into the campfire, like not as much as that. I don't think it has as much as that one that NIHAP sent me. That first batch of Flask that we did it different, and as of right now, I don't have a clue what the first batch of Flask were. No, I still have the ability to taste. Just checking. Wow, NIHAP, it's an absolute stumper as of right now. I did get a mail call in from NIHAP. I was very concerned at first because standing next to the porch, I could see that box inside of the box from my postal service. It looked like one of those boxes that it looked like you made the U-cut so you could reach in and it would turn into a handle. That is literally how I brought it into the house. Not to mention, once again, the shit herder, known as my postman, which seems to always be somebody different lately, did not set the box right here. And right here is a big sign that says, please put all packages in the porch, not on the little deck area. So, first thing was another bottle of the 10-year Islay single malt Scotch from Ardbeg, which is very good news for me because you know, this one is maybe a third of it gone, so I can I'll be putting this back in on the shelf next to the some of the beer that's aging. And I took a picture and sent it to him and said, oh, Paul John Indian single malt whiskey, 55.5% peated. Well, 55.5% is the alcohol, and it's heavily peated. So at 55.5, that's 111 proof. This probably is a cask proof. You know, just guess it hasn't been stepped on by Vinny down at the distillery. And he said, yeah, but did you open the box? And I was like, well, it was all taped up, and at that point in time I had not. So I opened magnets. I opened said box. And NIHAP sent me the balance of the Octomore. Needless to say, this is a very, very expensive, and after watching like the few reviews that I could even find on it, it's also not an easy one to get. Actually, I see this one says that it was limited to 18,000 bottles. It's either 8,000 or 18,000. Edition 9.3. It's been aged for 5 years. Brookalatti. And like the boys over at the Whiskey Vault, God, I just feel like don't let it drop, don't let it drop. Boys over at the Whiskey Vault, they had a whole bunch of different ones, and what really impresses the hell out of them from the stuff from the Octomore is that it has been aged 5 years. It hasn't been aged 10 years, 12 years, 16 years, 18 years, so on and so forth. It's been aged 5 years, and the quality of the Scotch in such short amount of time seems like it impresses the hell out of quite a few people. Now, I only found one that sort of gave it a mediocre. He was a big fan of the 6.3 and the 7.3, and wasn't overly impressed with the 9.3. And he had a bottle. He initially split it half and half with somebody else, and it had sat in a state of, he only had about this much left in there. It had sat in that state for a little over a year, and in that amount of time, it had gone from an okay, but he wouldn't buy it again, Scotch, to this was really good. He would buy it again. He gave it I guess he rates on a scale of 1 to 100, and Whiskey by Your 6 was his channel. and he gave it an 86, which still gave it an A in its initial state. And even though it had drastically improved in that year of basically being in a opened but not open bottle, he said he would have given it a higher rating, but he said when you buy it for him it should be that right from the get-go, and you shouldn't have to like sit on it for another year to be overly impressed. So it basically stayed at his 86. And this is also a cast strength Scotch, and it weighs in at 62.9%. And NIHAP told me to try not to drink the whole thing before April. I can honestly say that obviously in April there'll probably be a little sharing going on. When somebody is pouring themselves a shot, it's going to look something like this. Pour carefully. This much, if it was left entirely up to me, I'm telling you right now, I could easily go well over a year, because this has gotten to the point where something like this, I poured maybe just a little bit more than this the other night out of flask number 26. That's what I should have done. Well, that was stupid. Well, you know, it's Saturday. Oh. Hi. Okay, I'm just going to return it to Mommy. It may be a Saturday and it's not a school night and all that, but oh yeah. I tell you, if you're a Scotch fanatic, and instantly, I'm not trying to rule anybody out, but right off the top of my head, right now, if I had that magical genie ability to beam you here to do this review with me and enjoy a small glass of the Octomore 9.3, it would be my brother Clyde. Because I know Clyde is a Scotch guy. Lafroig is his pick of poison, but Clyde, if you were anywhere close, I would share a handshake, an afternoon, and a small glass of this with you. Oh my God. Oh, it's just like, Smile Money, you should just be here for this. It's like almost like apricot, and I can just smell the motherland right here. I know Christine's like, aren't you Irish? Not today. She's busy doing her show. Oh my God, this is just absolutely incredible. NIHAP, I thank you, just does not get it done. I'll put a little something special in your stocking this year. Oof. Now, J-Dog was like, that, basically the wine rack here with you on it is that M16 rack. It holds 10 rifles, and it's basically made to be bolted to the wall and part of a military, complex kind of thing in the armory. And I'm using it as a shelf. Yeah, I got a few firearms hanging out in it, and I have my range bag and a med kit and a gigantic American flag. When this thing's open, I believe this American flag, if I opened it right now, we could hide Hornet Fixer's Mini without a problem at all. It's that big of a flag. And the top, other than the camera, is nothing but bottles of alcohol. And this is the one that started to fall over. That's why J-Dog was all concerned, but that was extenuating circumstances. We had company, and I had that big, I mean, when that thing was inflated, it is over 2.5 feet high, and it was the air mattress, and it was sitting over there, and it turned out that by the way the mattress was laying deflated, I thought I had done okay at making a hole for it, left and right, alcohol shelf versus a wall or a stuff over there on the wall. No, as it inflated, instead of looking like this, it looked more like this, and that's when I heard the rack started to move and came over here, and I lost one of the bottles of mezcal from Johnny Concho, and at that point in time there wasn't as much stuff that's on it now, but I did shim it up, so it's not like it's about to fall over. But to be totally honest, I will probably put the Octomore back in the gun room, mainly because the level of security is much higher in there now. I hate to give up the old secrets, Smile Money, but my kind of the biggest deal in my security system used to be right here, but I have had 3 false alarms, and they all seem to happen at like somewhere between 1:30 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, all of them have been right around the 3 o'clock hour, which is just gives credence to Christine's haunted the bewitching hour shit. But I think nobody will say this, but the motion sensors have three levels of what they do, and one of them is to detect rapid changes in temperature. And I'm just wondering if part of my boiler, if the pump comes on and it quickly changes what's flowing through these pipes, that this thing was about 5 feet away from it, and it's my only explanation. The only thing I can say is since I've moved it, I have not had a false alarm. But then again, it was like 3 false alarms in 2 years versus 1 a week kind of a thing. But let me tell you, you want to work on your state of readiness to prepare yourself for someone breaking into your house. Just have someone randomly control your alarm system while you're sleeping. And Christine is getting way too, since she's picked out she's always kind of had guns on her side, but since she's got her SIG, the last time the alarm went off, normally she waits by the phone, she grabs her baby eagle, I grab the gun, and I head downstairs, when I see what sensor it is that has gone off. And this last time, I think I had sat up in bed and was wondering what was going on, and she was already downstairs, getting ready for the gunfight. And like I said, the one thing I did, and it was like, duh, why not? My security system is tied to lots of things in the house, and one of them is lighting. And it was just like, instead of you carrying a flashlight or worrying about a weapon with a flashlight on it, all I had to do is just program the security system in the event that the alarm goes off, turn on all the frickin' lights, which is what it does. Okay, first was Gun Wild 1. first, bitches. How the fuck did that happen? Yeah. So we got, basically, Gunwild could not possibly believe that he'd actually pull off first. So, Stephen Hobson led first with a little crying face. Frontline Cigars saying podium, being correct, third. Matt Davis, spring, hell, I think the stream diverted to under my house. My sump has a, well, actually, he just says sump. My sump has a 1-inch line that's been running nonstop for days, and I can see water coming through the earth like a small stream, 12-inch wide and 1-inch deep. See, I'm actually waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. There was a time, and it wasn't even while I was relatively new to the house and unfamiliar with the scenario. It was, I don't know if, like you, something changed and a natural spring, or the natural spring that I'm told that could be under my house, went nuts, or some land shifted and a dirt plug got moved. Dirt plug. Real thing, look it up. But there was a time that my pump ran with such short intervals and never stopped, that I seriously thought that maybe the water main for my house had broken somewhere in my front yard, and even though there was no water in here, it was filling up the drain tile system, and that's why, you know, I guess I got enough filtration shit from BattleBox that I guess I wouldn't fear it, but if you opened up the top of my sump pit and scooped out some water and looked at it, it runs so much for so long that I don't know if there's any dirt in it anymore. Okay, after having the Octomore, let's have a little bit of this yummy stuff. Maybe I'll make the call and say bourbon on this. I'm assuming. Now I could be wrong. I don't mean to overstep my my guessiness. But it's smooth to the point where it's kind of like why would you drink it? I mean, I don't even know if you put it in a mixed drink. Holy shit, if Jim had this and was making mixed drinks with it, it would literally require the same scenario as my father-in-law's making a sweet one. You know, just grab the whiskey bottle or the bottle of 31 here and go and then grab your Coke. I just made 10 drinks with a 12-ounce can of Coke. I'm just gonna take a guess and say it's bourbon. The aroma is actually it has a decent flavor. It almost seemed like it was going to be a little bit on the harsh side from just smell alone, but taste, like I said, a little vanilla and cinnamon, and the standard oakiness. I don't even know what to say about it. It's not nasty. It's just it's kind of non-existent. I guess I'm just gonna go with a 3. We'll see. Let me see if I can do two. If I can multitask here. Multi-Gunman was 4th. 3, 4. Multi-Gunman was 5th. You liar. Poco Loco first to not give a shit. Well, I guess that is a new category. Really, really light on flavor. I don't know. I don't know. Giving it a 3. Matt Davis, Seattle sucks balls hard. The Interstate 5 corridor is all libtards. See, I don't understand how some of you like-minded thinkers even manage to make it any more in areas like Oregon and Seattle. I realize that the mentality that I appreciate the most is the stand our ground and stand our ground like in war and not lose an area. But I think a lot of areas of Oregon and Seattle, that war is lost. It's just, like San Francisco. I mean, really? I mean, here's the funny thing. These libtard cocksuckers, the first thing that they always want to say is how if Republicans and conservatives are in charge, grandma's going to die because she ain't going to get any meds anymore, and the water's going to be dirty, and you can forget about the conditions of your roads, which, that's a fucking joke. I got a fucking Countess Electus, Emily Larson, our mayor, and anybody that's come to visit me, I don't need to tell you what the condition of the roads in Duluth, Minnesota are like. So, they can just eat a dick. Basically what libtards do is exactly what my ex-wife does. Goes around and tells as many people as possible everything that she does, except for she screws it all up and she uses my name in place of hers. And that's the way libtards seem to be. Good God. I mean, San Francisco, I mean, do you honestly think if Guntown existed, or Brewtown / Guntown, and all us like-minded thinkers could actually have a circumstance where we could own and live in our own town and still financially exist? Do you really think that the roads would be terrible and Grandma wouldn't get her meds? And they're still not done. They're still not done. Christine was finding article after article after article over the impeachment thing. They just can't. They can't let it go. They just not tired of winning. Not tired of winning. Poco Loco, did the Google broad just troll you? You sound shocked. Yeah, I was kind of. Yeah, Wade, payback. Payback's a bitch. JR10 Desert Gold, with respect to your reference on the hard candy-coated licorice, might they be good and plenty? And Smile Money goes, well, that's what I thought. And both you fuckers, I was like, no, motherfuckers, it snaps. It's fucking snaps. I know I'm right, and the two of you are wrong. So I looked it up, and as it turns out, just like I thought, I was wrong, and you guys were right. It is good and plenty. I mean, Real Cool Burnout, 7th. JR10 Desert Gold, for the love of God. Can we please start a GoFundMe account to get clothing for Salty Shellback? That fucker is always naked. I don't know. He might be like Samantha when she was under a year and a half old. The only thing that you could typically find her wearing was a diaper, And I've got a few good pictures. I got to go back, see if I can find them, because that was another thing lost when I deplaned. There was a couple of really cool pictures of Samantha with the weirdest look on her face, and she's wearing a diaper and my cowboy boots. Cowboy boots that I happen to still have, even though it's getting to the point where they're almost like summertime only. I really got to look and see if I can find some replacements, because I don't think when you really wear out something like that, they're fixable anymore. Well, probably not. But I can't feel bad about, I got what, at least a 22-year run on them. Real Cobra Burnout Infinity bottle of Maker's Mark Rye. Yes, please. Well, it's obviously it's not. There's six or seven different flasks in there right now. But that's all I taste. That's all I taste is the Maker's Mark Rye. Real Cobra Burnout, sorry I missed the Locked and Loaded show, but I had a rare moment where my little boy wanted to watch Star Trek with me. We watched until we fell asleep. Good times. Nope. In a scenario like that, I'd probably punch you if you would have come over and listened to that shit show. Then after that, I joined Mikey, as usual, Mikey D, the Quagmire show. And last night, Jim wouldn't shut the fuck up, so everybody else just sat there like this. That was one of them. I gotta work on some comedy routine or something. I felt that my online performance last night was could only be described as lame. But I always enjoy being on the show. I don't know why. I'm a little bit more wound up and ready to stay up a little late on a Friday night. Hell, I think this is now the third of Mikey's shows that I joined as soon as the Locked and Loaded show was over, and stayed until his show was over. Last night I was getting kind of tired, and I'm like, well, I hate to say it, guys, but I gotta call it. And Mikey goes, nope, we are gonna call it. So I hung out until he said goodnight to everybody, and off we went. Now tonight is Stalker Steve's show, and I love Stalker Steve like a brother, but some reason Saturdays just don't. Steve, I'm sorry if you hear this part. It is not you at all. I've had 2 times now where I was like, well, I could join his show. I have my tablet sitting right on my side of the bed, so I could take the tablet and lay it on its side, so at least the perspective would be right. Everything in the background would look wrong because it would be wrong. He's planning. He's hoping to have his show tonight, and now I'm like, hope I make it. I tell you, the older you get, it certainly doesn't translate into the later you want to stay up. Smile Money, this is sub comments under Cobra. Yes, you need to cherish that time. As for the show, it was all about what creatures in Lake Superior are waiting for Jim's ball dip. Wade says, family time is golden time. You'll never get enough. And if anyone knows, Wade, you are definitely one of them. Chuck, I suspect the lesions on the front of your brain have grown. Get an MRI. Thank you. Smile Money. Good and plenty. Licorice flavored candy. Gunwild says nasty. I'm honestly not a fan of just going out and buying black licorice and eating it, but the Good and Plenties as a kid, now it's been a while. I have to say, I have not had a Good and Plenty, obviously, in a long damn time. And at one point in time, I would have rather jumped out fifth story window, as opposed to eating either green peppers or, say, black pepper. You never would have ever seen me put pepper on anything, and nowadays can't get enough of it. Green peppers, stuffed green peppers. Last night I had steak and green peppers. Christine was going to make a meal in the Instapot. It's steak noodles, large quantities of cheddar cheese, Boondockers hot sauce, and the steak that we bought it at the same time I did last week, and at the exact same point in time it looked pretty good. But last night, normally I don't question shit. I'm just like, you know what, screw it. If it's in a can and it said it expired 5 years ago, it's still good, right? It's in a can. Christine, if she's in the canned good cupboard that we have, and she pulls something out and it says expires on January 5th. If it's January 6th, it's getting chucked, even though right then and there it could have been used. I was like, oh my God, drives me crazy. Turn around. Where was? Well, I threw it out. It was gonna expire in a week. Crazy Scotsman whiskey. Crazy Scotsman, think you might want to recharge the battery or get a new battery for that thing. Readings seemed way off. Yeah, I don't know what the hell it's doing. I mean, I'm telling you, in the big scheme of things, this I mean, I want to say it was like $169, but Scotsman, I just aimed it at my beer. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm just kidding. I have a Eden Pure heater sitting right here. Okay, so the light bulb 68 degrees. These are LEDs. That one's 90. This one would probably be the warmest. 114.8, but yeah, if I get through the grate and actually hit the one of the elements, the Scotch, 62. The chunk of ice in the freezer. Plus, it does all sorts of things. It has a swing. I don't know, there was all sorts of controls for it. I think I just I accidentally just turned something off. I have no idea what I should have never pressed that button, evidently. Okay. I think I can get it back to where it was. I guess that'd be the equivalent of doing a hard reset. I said hard. Still all the bars though. I mean, if it says it's full, Scotsman, how the hell can I charge it if it's full? Scotsman, nice choice on the Brew Babe. Scotsman, I never asked if it was badass gun. I know it is, laugh out loud. Just a little bit more badass since two brothers have owned it first. I'd be happy to autograph it with my DNA. Swab it for you, if you know what I mean. It's my money. You did an excellent job reading my comment with the read more. That Skull Infinity bottle must be magical. Maybe. Where are we? Ooh, wow. Not a shit ton of comments. That's okay. All you go for 327. Oh, I was what were we talking? I can't remember who I was talking about. The whole Glock. The one I was thinking about selling, but to be totally honest, I think I would massively regret it. Still like carrying this gun, and as you can see, the condition it's in. What do we got? One. Never mind, that was food. I don't know if it has a single mark on it. There's, to be honest, yeah, I probably would. I would sell this, and I'm telling you right now, why would I sell my G19? Because I would sell my G19 for a G29. I honestly think if I had the 29, it would seriously end up in the rotation of stuff. If not, maybe be the work gun. I don't know. I'm really liking the 4043 that I got from Jim as a work gun. You know, it's the alloy frame, it's the Gen 3 Smith & Wessons, but I have always wanted the G29. And, you know, again, I don't like the idea of selling a gun or trading a gun to get a gun. I have to make some conditions, and as much as I love the fact that I have two, well, technically three, actually four, actually all but one, high capacity 1911 chambered in 10 millimeter. I just like that one because it's badass. It's got the under rail and it has a threaded barrel, which may or may not, you know, have something to put on there. And but we're having a conversation about Smith & Wesson, you know, getting sued because they made a knockoff of the Glock. Now, I don't mean to piss anybody off. I actually like the way the grip of the Glock feels in my hand better than the SD9 VE. But the grip on this still feels fantastic. I mean, they both have good feeling grips. Now, if it truly was a knockoff, see, all you need, I don't understand that whole thing when it comes to copyrights and, you know, and that kind of shit, because if it was truly a knockoff, I mean, I remember having this conversation with John Huber and how you only have to change things a little bit to make them apply to you. I mean, it's not like they can say that Glock has a gun, you know, other people have a gun, and other companies use tilting barrels and sights and night sights and a trigger, and you hold them all the same. So there's a lot of shit that is identical for this and every other pistol ever created out there. Now, having said that, if it was truly a knockoff, it would have the same trigger, which they don't. I actually like the trigger much more in the Glock. Of course, this one does have a ghost connector that I worked on, and it has a stainless steel guide rod in it that's not stock, where, you know, the Smith is all stock. But in all honesty, and of course these days, I could send this off and have it come back looking like this. But I think right from the get-go, I think the Smith is a better looking gun. And I'm a big fan of Smith & Wesson, so it pretty much, For me, comparing the two of these side by side, and they are the same length. Without putting the micrometer on them, they look about the same in width. There's a little bit more of a bevel to the Smith, so it might appear a little bit more narrow, not to mention it has more of the relief cut in both sides, which kind of narrows it up and takes away some mass to it. Of course, I upgraded the sights on this to the Meeper lights, so these are better sights because they're night sights. These are just 3-dot white, non-adjustable, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, the trigger is much better in this. Not to mention this has this, where Glock does not. Just to make Joey happy, though, I went and I have a 10-rounder. So if Joey, instead of carrying his M&P, wants to carry this badass when he's here, I've got a 10-rounder all set aside for him. And I don't even know where this fucking thing came from. I have a 10-rounder for the G19, just in case Joey wants to carry this instead. Now, I still, thanks to NIHAP, I still happen to, I honestly have very mixed feelings on this, because I know that if I were to sell this or trade this for another firearm, that I can honestly, there's one of these everywhere. It's not like it's, oh my God, they stopped making the G19, you're screwed. But I've had this one a long time, and I've carried it, even though it doesn't really have much for signs. Just a testament to the, like, Pete's holster, and the Pete's holster and the Unicog are the two holsters that I've used for this. And normally, because I don't care if someone sees that I have a gun on me, I usually go with the G17 mag with the Grip X extender on it. Or I would have this in my pocket with a normal one, which, again, normally it would always be right off the bat. I would have the extra mag, and then another extra mag of high capacity on me. But a great gun, NIHAP. I know, a great gun. Even though I have an endless amount of times that I could probably be edited talking about how Glock sucks. They're like holding on to a 2x4. I never want to own one. And then he started me off with the G27. Carried that a long time. Even converted it over to a G26. And again, my passion is for the 10mm round. Even though I know that the 26 and the 27s, well, the 26 for sure would hold more than the 27 and the 29, but I like that. I like the 10mm round. So for me, completing as Rich Fu Master would say, that trifecta plus there, to have a whole series of stuff that I carry chambered in 10mm. Wade, nice looking knife. Thanks, Wade. Like I said, I think it was $19 on Amazon. Our 40th anniversary is Valentine's Day, and my wife saw me salivating over several guns up for online auction. Normally I buy my own gift because it's a gun or a blade related, and she's not into that. Not this time. I was hunched over my phone about to bid, and she kissed the back of my bald head and said, "Nope, we're replacing the John Deere mower. It'll be here on Thursday." Nice, Wade. Your 40th anniversary is Valentine's Day. I really hope to God I don't forget, because to me I usually always try to find something nice. We got a little guy up the hill called the Rose Man, and everywhere else is bending people over and sticking it in the where you well, you know where he's sticking it. And the Rose Man, for years, a dozen roses was $19. And I know you're about to say, oh, what a fucking cheapskate. I would go up there, and we've got vases all over the place because it's Christine, so I don't need to waste the money on a new vase each year. So I get them in a box with the baby's breath, and they arrange them all nicely in the box. And I have spent $75 on a dozen roses before, and like 4 days later, they're basically all dead. The stuff we get from the Rose Man, it looks awesome the day you pick it up, and the shit lives for like weeks. Christine is always impressed by how long that goes. The only thing that kind of sucks is where she used to work. I used to just drop it off at the front desk, and they had to stroll past about 225 other women, all who didn't get anything from their husband or boyfriend that year. And Christine's office was way in the back, so a lot of people saw those flowers going by. Now, due to the fact that her job is a much higher level, especially for security, I can't get anywhere near her office now. So and the thing is a lot of companies, I mean, you even go, well, you just go down to, blankety blank, and it's part of the hub, and they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So I usually just grab them and bring them home. I mean, so Wade, if for some stupid reason that I forget, a very, very happy 40th wedding anniversary to your best friend. And like the conversation we always have, we are some of the 2 luckiest bastards on the planet. We lucked out. We're not quite sure if they did. Scotsman, this one is a little over $20 for 4, so I wanted to be sure you didn't let Matt have any. I agree with the licorice and toffee flavors. It was very good. Actually, to be honest, my friend, if I would have thought about it, I never did have, I never had the 1050, and I still have the other one that you had. I ended up drinking 3 or 4 blues last night, and then I switched to a glass of Dewar's during the quagmire. Jorn, my crazy friend, you political nut. I'm not. Jorn, if you hear me say this, please answer this question. You seem to hate everybody politically. I know you put up your videos against Rocket Man, and I don't think you've ever had a positive thing about Trump. What's your comment? That t-shirt you're wearing, Trump 2020, belongs in the bin. My American friend. Ha ha. Jordan, I've said this I don't know how many times. It's cool having friends, and I still check out his videos. A lot of times it just makes me chuckle. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, but the question that I always pose for you, Jorn, who is it that you actually side for? Because if you were over here, your choice is a bunch of socialists, fucking loser, baby douchebags, or Trump. And I've already said, Trump isn't perfect. Trump is the best that we have. I think if he doesn't, he just said it in the State of the Union address. You'll never have to worry about your Second Amendment. Oh, yeah, that's right. You've actually, Trump, you've actually done more harm to the Second Amendment in your time in office than Obama did in 2 terms. Is this the whiskey Intel? No. Oh, okay. Okay, no, that wasn't whiskey Intel. Damn it! Wow. Now I don't know now if this is going to turn out to be bad, inexpensive, cheap-ass whiskey or bourbon, or if it's going to be something a little bit better, and that's why it's so mellow. It is so void of kicking my ass. Stephen Hobson led. Your package was supposed to be to you today, but it's showing that it left St. Paul at 7 a.m. So, we'll see if it makes it. The one item is meant for the G19, 23, 17, or 22. The other caliber or other caliber in that frame size. It won't work on the G20 or the G21 or a single stack. Roger that, big shooter. Jolson, this video needs more cowbell. I can't, Jolson, I can't because here I'm. Better late than never. Mike, can't have too many ammo cans. No, actually, I think I said I was going to use that to put 40? Oh no, I had 40. I quickly looked, and I have ammo cans for 5.56. No. No, I don't have ammo cans for 5.56. I have all of my mags loaded for the 5.56. So, yeah, that's the funny thing. The thing that I have the most of is AR-15s, and actually that's the round that I have, you know, for a war situation, I have the least of. Other than that, the one thing that I am down to, I believe, 5 mags and I'm out is 50 AE. And I was not home. I was at David Brown's the other day when my brother-in-law is here, so I never had an opportunity to talk to him to see what he would charge me to load up 100. Or that was 100, right? Yes, 100 rounds of 50 AE. I kind of would like to get that done before April. And Scotsman did text me. He said when I was over at the, if I had some time and I was over at the press, I could give him a call and he could walk me through setting up my turret again. You know, it looks something like this. This one just happens to be the 50 or the 45 ACP. I don't know if I have them in the right sequence anymore, and I need to make sure everything is spaced out right. But yeah, Scotsman, it looks something like this. Cool, huh? And then, of course, I have my powder drop. But 45 is the only thing that I have personally loaded. John Huber set up my dies to do 308, and like I said way back when that happened, it took more than two and a half hours. John John took my RCBS dies completely apart. Had some kind of this nasty ass cleaner and had to do everything outside, wearing special, I mean, he made sure that everything was deburred, and I mean, this is a guy who loads for, you know, thousand yard competition. So John has my 308 dies set up, but I have never done one of those by myself. I was told by JR10 Desert Gold to start with one thing and get good at it, and I did, and then I got sidetracked and didn't have the time to spend to dedicate to doing loading, and then for a while there, the only thing I was doing was decapping and tumbling. I like, and I know there's people that do it in different ways, like these dies or these Deagle rounds. They still have the primers in them, so they've been tumbled, but they still have to be deprimed. And I like to deprime them and then put them in my wet tumbler. That way, the primer pockets get some cleaning done to them. I guess, you know, again, don't take any advice from me because I don't know shit. Gunwild says, fuck the whiskey, spelled Y or EY, both spelt right. Do a shot of tequila. You should never mix, Gunwild. But I've been trying to empty this out. This has been sitting like this for quite a while. I could use this as one hell of an infinity bottle. Good stuff. And JR10, I still have a wee bit in there too, and that flask could get added to the collection. Just gotta check Cobra. Cobra does the. I think I'm calling that a pass right there on viscosity. To be totally honest, I've never tried that with water, so I'm assuming water wouldn't cling at all. I mean, it'd do something. It's not like water would run up the side of the glass and then come back down and it'd be dry, right? To be totally honest, right about now, I really wish this was water. I am a fan of tequila, though. I'm not gonna lie. I do like tequila. Christine kind of turned me on to Patron, and it's probably the best I've ever had. But I also do like Sammy Hagar's, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a huge Sammy Hagar fan. Sammy Hagar didn't just drop Cabo Wabo on the side of a bottle without actually doing the research. It's actually very, very fine tequila. It was actually the first time I ever bought a bottle of it. I want to say it was close to $100, and it's not the case anymore. I don't know if they changed something or they just decided that instead of selling one or 10 at $100, they would sell 1,000,000 of them for $39.95. Yeah, I think I like Scotch more. Yeah, but only in the driveway. Oh my God, just pure heaven. Clyde, come on down, motherfucker. Gunwell again. With all the different types of whiskey you are putting in that bottle, it just might spontaneously combust. Yeah, I've thought about that. The other thing would be cool with this, and I think we talked about this before. You know, I actually might be able to pull it off with this guy. Hold that thought. No, son of a bitch. I don't know if I have a cord down here. Oh, damn it, Jim. Oh, wait a second. No, that's a dedicated cable for the for a portable or for a zip drive or a portable drive. It was a good idea. Yeah, this is that light that lights up the Enterprise, and I thought I had a damn phone charging cable down here, but evidently it got brought upstairs and put in something. I have the important part, the cube. Okay. Never mind. I'm without you guys here, and I have to check this out though and see if it lights up the skull. Thought I used to see. I know what changed. The huh. Hang on, we're not dead in the water. Ah, it's not bright enough. Yeah, that's not nearly bright enough. And it also does not appear to like the dedicated power supply from from Google. It looks like it looked like it had started off and then failed. Unless it has something that tells it that this thing is not down inside of it. No, it's just not bright enough. It would have been kind of cool if it would have lit up the skull. I got that from Jim, by the way. That was pretty cool. Plug our bitch back in. Okay, Fu Master Chew with the last comment from an hour ago. Does that correlate? Oh, goddamn. That is a good looking / sounding brew. I do love the stouts. Cheers, brother. Cheers, my Richie Poo. And we Virginia passed an assault weapons ban and high capacity magazine ban. This is what happens. I'm sorry to say, this is what happens when lazy fucking people sit on their hands and they don't get out the vote. Virginia passed the assault weapons ban. Scotsman, that is fucking sad. Same here. You know, how many people tell me what a shithole fucking libtard place this is, and the best that you can expect on voter turnout this last time was, actually this last time was fairly high, and I want to say it was like 21%? 23%? I don't know. Smile Money will probably fucking figure it out before me, and I live here. But the bottom line is, it's always bullshit. We wonder why the shit happens, but when you ask people, well, did you get out and vote? I mean, if Virginia was such a hold for the Second Amendment and the Patriots and our Constitution, and yet you just handed the reins over to the Democratic House, Democratic Senate, Democratic Governor, and now you fucking wonder why this shit has happened. I hate to take it out on the innocents, or maybe the people that would actually hear me that live in Virginia that actually got out and vote and they voted against this. But the initial fucking vote that turned your fucking place from red to blue. So anybody that thinks that they don't particularly like Trump, so they're probably just going to wait out the vote, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And you are the people that make this happen. What's happening in Virginia, it could be national. Can you imagine the United States government being Democratic Senate, Democratic House, and Democratic President? You can kiss all your fucking rights and freedoms goodbye. Overnight, everyone that says, oh, that couldn't happen in my lifetime, oh, the fuck it can happen in your lifetime. Thanks, Scotsman. Now, let's move on to the Two-Hearted Ed Club. I honestly, I don't even know what to fucking say. I mean, I was gonna wait on this so that Matt could try it, but fuck him too. Well, unless something changes, you'll have to look for it in the title. So I can't tell you what is really in Flask number 31. I am completely interested in knowing what it is myself. It goes to 11 from Bell's, so we are glass sort of correct, but Clyde, who gave me these glasses, this guy is 11%, and it's very tasty. And I saved 2 of them so that I could do a kind of after review or a Two-Hearted Ale Club with the Matt Man, but fuck the Matt Man. First in is Cobra. Cheers, Two-Hearted Ed Clubbers. Thank you, Cobra. Crazy Scotsman, Two-Hearted Ed Club Whiskey. Hashtag be like Ed. Well, if Ed was in Virginia, I think he'd lock and load. J-Dog, here, Heart Club, and Gunwild. Cheers, Two-Hearted Ed Clubbers. Did you just copy and paste the real Cobra Burnout? We can't let this happen everywhere. And to be totally honest, a lot of people have said if it can happen in Virginia, it can happen everywhere. Sorry, I don't mean to go on a down note, but that's total bullshit. Cheers.